Ever notice how people are really honest online in their posts, in the comments, but in front of other people, bosses, family, friends, they just agree and get along? Now, the problem with being an easygoing guy, where you just get along with people, if there's a dominant person in the group, whether it's a family member, whether you're in a group of friends where one guy seems like the leader and he always decides where you go, what you do, how you speak, and how the weekend goes. Being an easygoing guy seems kind of cool because it seems like nothing bothers you. You know, you're zen, you're mature, like, yeah, I'll do that, I'll do whatever, I'm relaxed, I'm easygoing. The problem with being easygoing is that you never have an opinion. Your opinion is fed by the alpha in the room. If you're in a group of friends, you'll always go to the clubs that the guy who's the self-proclaimed leader will go. If you're in a relationship and there's one dominant partner, you'll be the pet. You'll just say yes to you. And there's this trap you can fall into that I certainly did for a while, where you think you're so easygoing and nothing really affects you. You're proud of not being really affected by much, water off a duck's back and all of that, where you think, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll watch the movie you want to watch. Yeah, we'll get the dinner you want to go to. We'll watch the movie you want to go to. Yeah, who cares? I'm open-minded, I'm a relaxed kind of guy. And then after a while, the relationships you're in are always the person who's leading it. And if you never have a say and you always get along, the person kind of enjoys you like a pet. They like you like their favorite sweater that they put on. They like you like their favorite car that's reliable. You're not really there, you're an accessory. You're not an interactive person that's got an opinion that you can discuss with the people and, have differences. If you're always saying yes and being agreeable, if you never voice your differences of opinion, even if they're slight, if you don't have a point of view, and look, it's fine to be easygoing, but come on, every single time you just say, yeah, whatever you want, that's not you being zen or open-minded, or so mature that you don't need to have things your way. That is just you taking the easy way out. You not having an opinion is you being invisible. You don't have to have an opinion on everything. If you genuinely want to do what they want to do, say it. But I think most of us have this idea that being easygoing, we tell ourselves it's zen, You're not bothered by much. You're not emotional. You're logical. Like, yeah, why not? Most times you're just being agreeable. So you don't cause waves. So you can just bathe in the company of others and exist with them and be protected by that company. I know where it comes from. It comes from childhood, where you had to largely shut up and agree and nod with the parents and say whatever you had to say and do whatever you had to do. Just parrot them so you get fed, you have a warm home and a bed to sleep in. I get where that comes from. Similarly, you respect your mother and you defer to her and you never criticize them, and you act really, really nicely to them, and your mother seems like your God to you when you're a child because you depend so much on them and you love her. And then the next female archetype, you do the same thing. You just defer. You're a nice guy. You don't have an opinion. And the problem is when you get online and you really vent and then you have an opinion, it doesn't do much, because venting online and being honest online, that's what you really believe. And you need to do it in real life. You need to do it in real life. That's why you get so frustrated online. That's why people create these channels and they don't want to show their face. They're too embarrassed to actually speak what they want to speak. They're afraid of being censored, so they just go along with things and they'll just say yes. You'll be served food that you really don't like. And they'll say, what do you think? And you say, I love it, it's wonderful. Rather than being honest, yet polite, and saying, it's okay. It's not my thing, but it tastes nice. Thank you. You appreciate them making food for you, but don't lie. It's the lying that over time demoralizes us. We think it's always better to be nice rather than to be honest. I think it's a really big trap to think that because you're so easygoing, that you're relaxed and nothing bothers you, therefore you're solid, you know. But if you get online with your friends or in private and you complain about all the things that you're forced to do at your job that you dislike, or around family that make you do things that you don't want to do and don't understand you, and you put on a mask for somebody else to be agreeable, to be around them, but in private, when you've got all the freedom with your friends and online with an anonymous avatar, you actually say what you mean. And there's nothing wrong with you saying what you want to say and who you want to be, but you never show that to people. You act in front of people that you say you love, that are important to you, whether it's your girlfriend or your family or whatever it is. That is a problem. And you know it's a problem because it's suffocating. The older you get, you can't keep doing that. You need to have a strong inner voice. The main reason why you need to speak your mind, when you start getting used to saying no in front of family, especially in front of a romantic partner, politely, like, no thanks. If they like a movie, don't say, yeah, I like it too. Say, I'll watch it for you because I care about you. Be honest about it. If they cook you a meal and it's really not something you like, be honest about things. You cannot lie and make things seem like they're fantastic when they're not. If someone is demonstrably overweight and fat, and they're saying, do you think I look hot? Do you think I look great in this dress? And they really, really don't. You can use a polite way of saying things and say, like, it really doesn't suit you. You're too big for that dress. You are like, or you need to drop a little bit of weight to fit in that dress. The color suits you, but you know, there's ways of saying it. The biggest thing that's helped me in dealing with women, partners, family, bosses, the world around me, is the ability to be honest and learn how to speak to be honest, so people know exactly what I think. Use really nice language, plain, eloquent, polite, civil language. You don't have to lie to survive, and I feel like a lot of us have done that, especially guys around women. We want them to like us, and so we say anything, we nod, we agree. We want them to smile. We don't want girls to go away. And so we'll say and do anything to get them to stay. And we think, yeah, what's the big deal? I'll just be agreeable. I'll be nice. Let me be easygoing. No, you have to have a voice. So if someone likes you, they like you accurately. They like you for the things you stood for, what you said. Your yeses and your nos mean something. And they know that it means something to you because you've stated them consistently. Like I hope I've communicated in this video and my other videos. You kind of know where I stand on things. You can paint a picture of my personality fairly accurately, even if you don't know me personally. But you know where I'm coming from because I am trying and I do my best to articulate myself directly who I am towards you, right? That's what you should be doing to other people. The biggest benefit of it, the biggest benefit for yourself, not for others, is that when you get used to communicating yourself accurately without apology and politely and civilly like I'm trying to do here, you notice when you go on dates, you're in front of bosses who try to manipulate you, family members and people in public who are passive-aggressive, don't say what they mean, yes means no, left means right, things like that, where you're supposed to play that game in society where they've got plausible deniability and no one's direct. When you're direct and honest and you use the language that lets people know exactly who you are without manipulation, like I'm trying to do now, you will notice when it's not coming back to you. That is the benefit. That is why you can't be easygoing with everything, especially when you have a different opinion. When you are direct and clear and honest, you will notice when there's a different voice in a conversation in front of you. So when you're on a date and a girl's manipulating or playing a game, when the boss is asking you to do more work than you're being paid for over and over again, when you're being used, when family members don't care about who you are and they want you to go to church, they want you to get married, they want you to do whatever and have kids and follow this, that, and the other tradition that they did, and they do not care and they pretend they love you, you will notice when you're trying to be honest and they aren't. They are using you. They don't care. They just want what they want, and that is their idea of a relationship or love or whatever. That is the benefit of having a good inner dialogue, being honest with yourself and letting it out, hearing yourself and speaking it to other people, not leaving it just for the comment section in a YouTube video or a post or something, or an anonymous post where you feel, yeah, I really let people know who I'm proud of that post, but you didn't put your name to it, no one sees you and everything. Show people who you are. So I guess what I'm saying, the overall message of this video is, it is essential to have a strong inner voice, a voice that you trust, a voice that stands up for you inside. Have an inner voice that stands up for you, not that puts you down, and that speaks through your mouth to other people and lets them know what you think. But do not hide in order to survive. Don't do that. Just survival in today's times is just a waste of years. I've done it for too long. And the reason I've developed my vocabulary is not to be flowery or poetic or theatrical and get on stage and produce kind of videos where I cartwheel with words. It's the beautiful ability to communicate myself to other people, and they have no option but to take me in exactly as I'm portraying myself. What happens then is that you tend not to follow other people's advice or manipulation, more importantly, because your default is always, the reflex is always, what do I think? I want this. I feel like this. I really like this. Rather than you wait for a moment and you look for validation or feedback from other people. And as I mentioned, if you have a leader in your group of friends, he will always drive where you go, what you watch, the music you listen to. So the beauty of really being proud of what you think and realizing you have every right to do it and speaking that confidently, righteously, is not just that you will confidently hear and be proud of who you are as you speak those words, but other people will know exactly who you are. And more importantly, if that's your default, you won't be led by other people's opinions. And the most important thing for guys, especially when they're dating and, they've got love hearts in their eyes, when they like a girl and they'll say yes to everything she wants, is that you will stop yourself because you're used to front-loading your opinion all the time. And even if you like her, you will tend to stop yourself more and say, yeah, hang on a minute, what about what I want? We watched a romantic movie last time, or the last couple of times. Let's go watch Star Wars for once, or let's do something I want. But if your default is always from birth to adulthood, whether it's from your parents to teachers to everybody, you're always just saying yes and behaving yourself and formalizing yourself to everyone else, then you are always led by everyone. Now, when you're younger, they mean well, probably your parents and your teachers. But as you get older, if the reflex is, well, just do everything the people I like or look up to or respect say without a second thought about what I want, it doesn't serve you well, because when you get to adulthood, you're expected to lead yourself. And when other people lead themselves and you're with them, you become their passenger or you become their pet. And they just think you're being agreeable. Oh, Bobby's just like me. No, I'm not, but I didn't say anything. And so I'm led by the chick who wants everything her way. And she likes being with me because I never say anything negative. I always am agreeable. And she says, oh, wow, what a match we are. But we're really not, because I've got my mouth shut and she doesn't. She's being honest. Whatever her personality might be, she might be an arrogant person, but I don't match her. And I'm just saying yes to everything so I can be with this person I find visually attractive. So the beauty, the essential quality, and I push this on myself because I saw the hack that it gives you in life, is that you are led by yourself and not by others. Most people don't know what the heck they're doing in life, but they confidently they have their own voice. But if you don't, you are led by their voice. And then later, You say, I lost myself, or they manipulated me. They were a narcissist. No, well, were they a narcissist, or did you never say anything? Did you never object? Did you always just stand to attention whenever they told you to? If you're not confident, if you're not righteous and ethical about your tastes, predilections, desires, dreams, and you have every right to like what you like, you're not hurting anybody else, and someone else is shaming you that you should like what they like, then it's imperative that you stand up for yourself, because you're going to end up living other people's lives. No matter how much you like them, if they're always dragging you selfishly into their lives and they don't really care what you think, especially if you don't say anything, it is your fault. But if you speak up politely and say no, and this is what I think, and they still shame you and say, no, you should like what I like, then that tells you that you probably might not want to be around them. It's important that you trust yourself. Otherwise, you'll be led by the wrong kinds of people.